Welcome back to what Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an FV304, it's the tier 6 British SPG, and we're located on the south spawn of Cliff. And the name of the commander is Fade to Black. Now he's got one mark of excellence on his barrel, so he's played the FV304, the Burt, quite a lot. And in this particular battle he does something rather unusual, which I think you'll appreciate, and find some new firing positions which you might like to use yourself. So battle has commenced and off we go. Well, he's headed up the hill to start with. The Burt's got a particularly short range, unfortunately, which means you must get closer to the enemy, similar to the Bishop and the SU5, which have both got very short ranges, but both can punch very, very hard, above their weight really. So he's taking it off to the edge of the map, right to the very edge, and he found this little dip here. Okay, from this position you're actually hidden. Nobody can see you on top of the hill. You're below their field of view. You're actually basically completely hull down, and now he's going to look towards the targets near the hill. He's within range of the hill, so he can hit them, and he's in overhead view. Round out on Pantera, and he gets a direct hit. No explosions, so we know he hit the target. Reloading. He's got a 10.7 second reload on this bird. Going for the KV-13. Round out. Landed behind him, but he did get some splash. 36 hit points. Now he's going back to that Pantera, who's descended from the hill. He's now going around the rock. Fires around him blind. Now it hits the ground. In the meantime, we know the KV-13's actually ended up on top of the hill. We can't see him at the moment, but he can't see us. So we're waiting for somebody to spot him, so that we can then fire at him. That's half the problem with being an Arty player, is that you're waiting for other people to spot the enemy for you, so you can then take action. Okay, we spotted the Pantera again, and Fade to Black is going after him. Those rocks, or those columns, are actually providing a bit of a barrier to the shell going in. You can see there's some red lines there, meaning obviously there's a block in the path of the shell. Still going after the Pantera, anticipating where he's going to go, trying to work it out. He's leading the target, but only slightly. Fires around him blind, and no joy. Now the good thing about the bird is it does have a considerable number of shells. Okay, it's got a 4.5 inch or 114.3 millimeter gun howitzer, and it's pretty accurate if you dial in the aim perfectly. It'll hit the target with considerable force. On a lightly skinned vehicle like that Type 64 we just saw, it can actually do a lot of damage. Well, there's the KV-13, but we can see from the grey line that he's out of range, so we can't hit him from here. He's going to have to get closer if he wants to hit him, but getting closer means he'll have to reveal himself. And I think he's coming out of the dip again. He's still got those bushes to protect him, and somebody's spotting the Type 64. So Type 64 is now in range. You can see that the reticule line... Oh! Now he hit the target, but 110 hit points, but he didn't get the kill. That actually went to the KV-2, who fired at the same moment. So his shell went in just before the KV-2, and the KV-2 finished off the target. Okay, he's going to get closer so he can have another go at that KV-13, who's now extended himself all over the edge. Now, looking at the reticule, you can see the red line is over the KV-13, meaning the target is in the way of the shell. And he gets a lovely hit there, 146 hit points. Loaded, round out again. Should hit it, and he does! 139 hit points. Notice how he's waiting until the reticule's fully contracted before shooting. That increases your accuracy. Okay, he's relocating again, trying to get closer. Most of the enemy targets are now well out of range. So he's going to have to get a lot closer and put himself in some danger of being hit by the enemy, or seen by the enemy at least. But I think he's going to use the cover of the hill. That's it. He's getting as close as he dare without exposing himself to return fire. Now he can hit some of the tanks on the western pass. He can't hit that strib at the moment. He's just too far over, and of course the hill's in the way. But if he moves up here, he will be in sight of the enemy. Okay, now he's got a number of targets he can hit in the western pass, going for the KV2. You see the red line on the target, dials in perfectly, and he hits the target. So that was a good Arty shot. Waiting for the reload to go through. That's half the problem of Arty playing, waiting for the reload. And another direct hit. That KV2 is still there. And I think he'll still be there when the next shell goes in, because he's trapped in there. And no, he's not there. He's moved away. That means he's probably headed north, because if he moved east, then he would be seen by the rest of our team. Now he's holding fire, waiting for the enemy to be seen. The Striv has just been taken out by our M445. And rounds are coming in nearby the Burt. So it could be that somebody knows where he is. There's very likely the possibility that an enemy sniper, a TD, could be located in A5. And they might have seen his shells coming out. Although they might not know his precise position. Of course, his sixth sense won't go off if his vehicle hasn't been spotted. But you can still see the tracer even if the vehicle hasn't been spotted. There's other shells going in to destroy buildings. Ah! Now we've got a target we can shoot at. There's the KV2. He did move north. Fires around it in, and no, it lands nearby, but the KV2's on fire, and he was killed by the Lorraine 40T, who's near the cliff edge. There's a P43 turret. Now he can kill that one. He's just dialing in the aim, working out where he's going to go. If he stays there, he's dead duck. Oh, and he is dead, but it's the Tiger 2 who gets him. And the Tiger 2 had a good shot on him. Now, another target. It's an IS-3, but unfortunately we can't hit him. We've got a red line, and that's because the cliff is in the way. You see that red line there? You can't fire because the shell will hit some obstruction before it reaches the target. I mean, it's basic RT 101. If you happen to have a red line to your target, you can't shoot. If you have a green line, you can shoot. If you've got a grey line, you're out of range. What you need to do is put the reticule over the target, and then if you've got a green line and the target causes a little red line at the end, you know that the shell must travel through the target to hit the ground. Can't see that IS-3 at the moment. He's still in cover. There he is. Okay, he's been spotted, and we can get a shot on him. Round out. And you see that for a moment there was a red line at the end of his shell path. Waiting for him to back up into the shell. He's reloaded. Ready to go. Fires a round in, and oh, he nicely anticipated that, but the shell just landed to one side of the IS-3. So he did have the right idea, but unfortunately it was just slightly too long on the aim. Waiting for it to dial in. He's going to put the reticule over the target, and the target's backing up. He's ready to shoot. Now, round out. Oh, and the target goes down. The IS-3 was killed by the Su-100. Now, he is into danger now, because more than likely he's going to get spotted by the enemy. There's only 4 enemy left. One of them's a tank destroyer. And yes, he has been spotted. And that tank destroyer is an UDES. An UDES 03. And the reason I think he's been spotted is because the UDES must be in A5. Just as I said earlier, more than likely tank destroyers take that position. The Arty take the west channel in A1. Or they're around the cap area. There's the M44. He's been spotted in the bushes. Out of range, unfortunately. Now, Fade to Black was trying to move forward, but he was seen by the enemy. And I think that UDES is taking aim at him. I'm pretty sure that Udes is at A5. It's the most likely position. That's why he was spotted. There's a possibility the Udes could be an A6, but it's very unlikely because that position means you couldn't shoot down on the cap, whereas A5 you can. So that would be the most likely place the TD would locate. Well, we've got a Yak Panther near the cap area and the SU-100, so they'll spot the Udes if he is up in A5. Oh, yes, he is. And he just took out the SU-100. And Fade to Black's going to take aim at the Udes, who's rushing down the cliff face because he realises he's in danger. Fade to Black's trying to get a shot in. Oh, he's been tracked. Round out. Oh, doesn't get the kill, but unfortunately the rescue wasn't fully tightened. Now the AMX 1357 has found the enemy FV304 and he's actually over the cliff. He's gone over the cliff and he's in a trap position there. He can't shoot from there. And everybody's trying to shoot him. The 1357 is trying to get a shot from a different angle. And Fade to Black's coming up to the edge. Will he be able to get a shot at the last moment? He goes in and he shotguns the FV304 and then adds an insult to injury. He pushes him off the cliff and into the water. And what a way to win the battle. That was a really great end. Oh dear. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's only a third class tanker for Fade to Black from Firelox in the FV304. That's all he managed to get. Unfortunately, he didn't get a huge number of hits in because he didn't get a lot of spotting help from his teammates. A lot of the tanks that he could have struck whilst he was in that unusual position on the cliff were just unspotted all the time. So sadly, he didn't get a huge amount of damage. But I thought that you'd appreciate this replay on the basis of that really weird position to fire from, which is quite effective. And also the fact that the way that he ended the battle by going after the enemy Bert and shotgunning him on the way down and then pushing him off the cliff and into the water. A really great way to end the battle. And I'm sure Munge in the enemy FV304 didn't mind that because after all, his team had lost. He was in an impossible situation. So congratulations, Fade to Black, on your win. Let's have a look at the team scores. Well, on damage, he's about mid-table, 833. The highest was Lorraine 40T, and he was very active, 2,850 hit points. When it came to kills, again, he's actually joint second, would you believe it? 3 of the teammates managed to get 3 kills apiece, but they all died. And he was one of the group of second places, all with 1 kill apiece, and they all survived. It was amazing considering Fade to Black flung himself over the cliff edge onto that enemy FV304. When it came to base XP, well, he was well down the table. He only managed to get 492 because, of course, damage on the enemy helps to build up your XP, and he didn't get a whole lot of damage simply because he didn't have a lot of targets to fire at. If we look at detail report, well, he fired 21 shots, got 6 direct hits, 6 penetration, 8 splash. Damage of 833 hit points, of which 784 were at more than 300 meters. He damaged 5 of the enemy in the end, only killed 1 of them, the FV304. On a standard account, he earned 14,441 credits. And after ammunition resupply and consumables, yes, because he did run the tea and pudding, which is the premium consumable which improves your performance, he actually suffered a loss of 10,809 credits. But you see, I actually feel that running premium consumables on any tier 6 and above Arty really does improve your game dramatically, and I would recommend that you do this, unless of course you're actually trying to build credits, in which case then try it without, but I think you'll find that it will degrade your performance. He also earned 492 base XP, and I'm afraid that's all the experience points that he earned because there was no multipliers. But pretty good ending to that battle, so congratulations, Fade to Black. And if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully the replay that I feature in our next video will be yours.